Hello, good afternoon for us and maybe early afternoon, night afternoon in India, Manas. What time is it here? Open your mic. Oh, no. I have to repeat. I have my mic muted. Um, sorry. I have to repeat. I have trouble with my mics. Again, good afternoon and good wherever you're in the world. In this case, Manas, where are you? What is your time zone?
I am from India. Currently, it's 8:30 p.m. here.
Sorry.
8:30 p.m.
Okay, 8:30 p.m. Here is 4 p.m. So 4.5 hours. That is a difference we have between our two countries. But there are other people here from in the YouTube chat, only from Spain and from India. Other more people will see this later or join the streaming. So thank you, Manas, for doing this streaming today. I was saying in the Discord that it's very important for you contributors, no, for GSoC and in general for your life as developers doing good mockups because you have to plan before you make an application or a program or whatever, and nothing is better than a mockup. And in the Liquid Galaxy project, know that we are heading to the GSoC and time is running because we are approaching the real moments. Um, you all contributors have to develop very nice mockups in both sides in the application that usually will be developed in Flutter. So you have plenty of very nice widgets with animation and so on for the user interface, for the user experience in general, and also how the data you are compiling or whatever project you have is being shown on the Liquid Galaxy screens. So it's very important that you make some very nice mockups to show to your wannabe mentors, your interviewers, or whatever, what is your idea about your project. So that's the reason we thought that this session is interesting for you all. It's not the first one. We already have done some others, but it's not also a very good time. So I thank Manas for his contribution today, and I'm just leaving the screen and leaving you on the presentation. So Manas, the stage is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andrew. So, moving on with my presentation. So, the main purpose will be explaining what is Figma and how you can use Figma for creating various different visualizations, showing how to create the mockups for the visualizations and the application, etc. So, my name is Manas Dalvi. I am a computer undergraduate from India, and I am a wannabe contributor for Liquid Galaxy. So moving on to the first thing, while understanding uh, the visualization aspect in Figma is what is Figma? So Figma is basically a cloud-based design tool, and it is made generally for the purpose of designers to create beautiful application UI for web interfaces, for mobile applications, prototypes, design systems, etc. So everything design related is capable of being produced through Figma. The second thing is Figma is also known for its ease of use, versatility, and its ability to streamline the designing process. So, right from the start of your ideation process till the end of implementing it, Figma will assist you in all. So, for example, if you have an idea, you can create a basic wireframe in Figma, and then you can process continually add to the process by implementing a little bit of the UI. For example, say if you create the home page, then you create the settings page, etc. So you can gradually add to the process, and then when you are for example, if you're creating a project for a client, you can just show the prototype. You can also create prototypes with Figma. That is, you can connect the screens. For example, every button can create a different animation, and then that you can show to the client instead of creating the whole UI itself. Now, you might be thinking, what are mockups? So basically, Figma mockups are the representations of the UI which you are making in Figma. So the designers, as I said earlier, can develop these mockups to showcase the layout of the overall application, how we are going to design it, and also functionality. Though, so before making any digital interface or UI, so for example, when we are creating an application using Flutter, we code it. So before coding it, you can make the design using different mockups in Figma. Now you might be thinking like, okay, like we have Figma, you can create designs, etc. But like, why should I use Figma? What is special about Figma? So the first and one of the most important things is it has a free plan, so anyone can use it free of cost for I think it is three collaborative projects you can work on continuously, and drafts I think you don't have any limit. The second one is easy to use. So right from the beginner level up to the expert level, Figma will assist you all. Next is collaborative. So suppose you are working on a project and there is a you have a team. So multiple projects can come in and assist you while making the project. So it is as mentioned in the next point, it is cloud-based storage. So what happens is when you make the design, it is stored in Figma's cloud. So anyone from any other part of the world can collaboratively work on a same project as it is based on cloud. And the last one is it has version control. So many of us might have used GitHub. So what GitHub does is it generally stores the history of whatever commits we do, whatever pull request we merge, etc. All those are also uh, accepted in Figma as well. Now you might be thinking, okay, we got to know like why should we use Figma, but why? What are the some benefits of using mockups? So clearly, the first and one of the most important things is clarity and alignment. So suppose, like, take this example. Many of you might be making proposals. So in those proposals, you are supposed to create mockups for your application which you are making, and also the visualization aspects on the Liquid Galaxy rig. So both those are required in the proposal. So when you create those mockups, you are making an clarity of what you want to develop as an application to the mentors. So basically, this is like you are aligning those interests. So for example, if you are making something which the mentors are not particularly interested about, they can give you some feedback and tell you that this thing is not working, you can change it. So that is the benefit of using mockups. Second is feedback. So like I just explained earlier, feedback, you can take the feedback from others before actually creating the entire application, which is very time significant for saving time and resources in developing the application, obviously. And the last step is efficient development. So uh, by like clarifying all the requirements from both the sides and like having a certain mockup which is agreed to, you can like now develop the application efficiently iterating through it without iterating through the actual code uh, for 10 to 20 times, for example. So now some of the important features in the Figma application is the community section. So what the community section does is it is basically an online hub. It is designed specifically for the users. So what it contains is it has different free design resources. Also, there are also some paid ones, but most of the required resources you can find are free. It serves as like it has a vast repository of free resources, like uh, it has different templates, it has UI kits, etc. You can just simply blindly take some UI from a certain page and then replace it in your actual code, actual your mockup. So for example, when creating a prototype for our mockups for our proposal, we need a tablet outline. So for that, there are various different community pages where we have those tablet as different components. So we can just plug in and drop our frames there. Now all this talk about Figma, uh, what it is generally used for is UI and UX. So coming back to the basics, what is UI and UX? So UI is basically the user interface. Uh, it generally revolves around the uh, content of the screen. So basically the buttons, the layout, uh, the search bar, for example, where it is placed. All that is contained in the UI part. And for UX stands for the user experience. It generally refers to the like overall experience the user has while interacting with the given application. So a basic representation I can give is UI is like the color, the photography, the etc. Graphics of the application, and UX is the architecture, the psychology. So for example, which button placement of the buttons, etc. That all is contained inside the UX part. Now some of the important features while creating this application are uh, while creating a Figma design are which you will generally use. The first one is frames. So Figma frames are like, it is a very powerful tool. What it does is it creates a basic foundation while making an application. Uh, so for example, if you are creating, so let me just show you my Figma screen where we are going to. Okay, so as you can see, this is a frame. So how you can create a frame? A frame can be created by just uh, going over here and selecting frame, or you can click on F, F button. When you click on the F button, click here, you'll get a frame here. What you can do with this frame is, if you go over onto the right hand side, you can see there are various different options like the x-axis, y-axis alignment, the uh, width and height of the frame, the amount of rotation you can do, the rotation here, and also if you want the borders curved or not. So for example, if I type in 100, it has become a circle basically. So now going on towards this big frame that I've created. So this frame, there is also a different option to create particular frames for the sizes which you want. So for example, if I choose iPad Pro 11-inch, it has made a frame for iPad Pro. Now if I rotate it, so this is my required screen. As we are generally working with tablets and having our screen in landscape mode, this is generally preferred. So now, as you can tell, I have a general image here. This is an image. Now, if I want to recreate this, what I am going to show you how we are going to recreate this image in Figma. So the first thing is creating the background. Now, as you can see here, there is an option for fill. What you can do is, instead of like generally just going and selecting the color and doing this, it is generally preferred if you go over here on these four dots and then add a style. So what this does is it adds a universal global style in your project. So I will go for this color picker, and I'll choose this color. Wait a second. Okay, so I'll just repeat. I'll go over here. I'll choose this color. Now I don't think it is working currently. Okay, it's fine. What I'll do is I'll just okay, I'll do this, and then now what I can do is I can add this color. Okay, so now I can add this color as the background color. Okay, so as I add this as the background color, you can see here the fill is background color. So for example, if I like create a new frame here, I've created a new frame. Now to add the same color, I don't have to like go and switch or copy the color code, etc. What I'll have to do is just go here, click on background color, and voila, it is done. As easy as that. So firstly, I have done that. Now the second thing is, the second main component of this application is the buttons. So clearly for buttons and this icon, as you can see. So for icons, as I've explained earlier, there are various different community options. So for example, if I go here, this is a very famous one. It is UI icons by Flaticon. So what I can do is I can like search for some drawer icons. So as you can see, this one is a drawer icon, right? So I'll just copy that. I'll go to my file. I'll select my frame and I'll paste it. As you can see, its color is gray. So we'll just change it to white. Nice. Now we'll increase its size. Okay. So now it's fine. Uh, we have the drawer icon there. The second thing which we have is a uh, liquid galaxy icon. So I have already. So generally, whenever we are making this sort of a Figma file, we have an extra frame known as the component frame. So I'll just rename it. It is known as the components frame. So what it does is has different images or the different reusable code that you are going to have. It is generally added there. So for example, uh, this Liquid Galaxy logo, we are going to use here as well. So we'll click on our frame, we'll copy it, I will send. So for example, now you can see, uh, I'm when I'm moving this logo around, it will snap into different positions. So now, as you can see, it is perfectly in the middle, aligned in the middle. When I go over to the complete middle, as you can see, it is completely aligned in the center of the entire frame. Now I just have to align it in the center here. And also, if I just click on shift and do it, it will just move in a single direction. It will not move in the X or Y direction. So if I hold shift and do it, it will just move in a single direction, which you choose earlier. Now, moving on, let's suppose we have to do this. So how are we going to make it? So the first thing will be creating a rectangle. So how do you create a rectangle? It is over here. You can choose this to create a rectangle like this, or you can click R. You can create a rectangle here. And how you can further do it is, let's say, mm, okay. So this is perfect. I feel we can just copy another one of it. Now what we can do is we can give them the color. How are we going to give them the color? Again, the same thing. We'll go on to the color picker and we'll choose the color. Okay, done. Now what we are going to do, we are going to add this color as the, uh, let's say, button color. Okay, done. So now whenever we have to make the same color, we will just choose on button color. It's done. Okay, it is centered as well. Let's make sure they are even. Okay. Hmm. So now what we are going to do, we are going to round their borders. So as you can see here, the borders are rounded, right? So for that, what we are going to do is go over here. We'll click on this rounded borders one. We select, I feel 25 will be all right. What happened here? Okay. 25 and 25. Okay, so this is done. Now we can just duplicate this for the bottom ones, add them to the top. Okay, so we have now the basic layout of our application here. Now the next thing what we have to do is we have to create some text. So for adding text, we can either go over here or we can click T and click there. Okay, so for example, the button there is, on the button there it is written reboot LG. Okay, we have entered reboot LG. Now there are, so to now change the text style, what we'll do is, when you click on the text, here you can see, there is the font, so which font you want to choose out of these many options, or what is the weight of the font, and what is the size of the font, the height of the line, the height of the word spaces, spacing. There are many different options here to choose from. So the one which we'll be choosing is, I feel like either Poppins or we'll go with Poppins. So here as well, there is a trick. So first, let us just make sure that it is good for the first card. So 30, okay. And instead of regular, we can make it a bit darker. Let's say medium. Okay. So now as we have the uh, title for this, we'll be using the same one for the other ones as well, right? So what we'll do is we'll again create a style here by going over here, adding this style. So now this style which we have currently here, we'll name it button title. Create this style. So as you can see, this is button title. For here, let's say we again click on T, go over here, and now we want to create, let's say, go to city. See, it has already chosen the button title there. Same over here. I'll just do start orbit. Okay. Now, going on towards the next process, it is going to be adding the different images here. So how are we going to do it? So as you can see, this is very bland, right? The buttons are not that interesting. So generally, whenever we are making such type of applications, we can add some animations to the button. We can add something different images to the button. So here, as you can see, I've added the different like actual things which are present there to the buttons. And also I've given some like description to the button as well. So for example, if I want to like edit this style now, I will have to detach it first. I'll detach this style. Now what I'll do, I'll create it to the regular. I'll uh, change its size a bit, make it a bit smaller. Okay, that's great. So now this is going to be our new style. This style will be for button description. Okay, so now you can just, for simplicity, what we'll do is just detach the instance and add the new instance there. Okay. Hmm. Now moving on. Now while adding this, we can just like go, for example, I've added a background there, right? So I can just go over here. I can add the background here as well. So this background is a bit opaque. What it helps us in, it will help in like shading the area behind, while also giving us the illusion that there is something there. Can add these images. I'm just like currently I have just added a simple one. We can add different things as well. So before like creating this, I'll just show you one more thing. You can choose all those buttons, and then what we'll do with it is we'll add the effect of drop shadow. Now, do you know what drop shadow is? Drop shadow is basically whenever you have buttons, they're raised 3D, right? So for that effect, you can add a drop shadow to it. Basically, how the drop shadow works is, let me see. I don't think it is visible in the dark there, but it basically creates a 3D effect on the buttons. Now, for simplicity, what we can do is we can just copy this, add it here, or different. You can for this project, I have like clearly taken all the resources and kept them there. But for your different project, what you can do is you can choose different. What can I say? Different resources from different websites. You can also access them via the community as well to complete your design. See, so with the final done. You can see I've created the same design successfully. Now the next design that we are working on is this one. So this is basically an LG controller app. So again, what we'll do is we will create a frame. This one was just for warm up, like it is a basic app, basic page, so it is not that complex. This one, again, I'll choose iPhone Pro, create a frame for it. It's done. Also, as I mentioned in the presentation earlier, you might have seen the tablet there, right, from the community that I have taken. So this is the Google Pixel tablet that I have taken. What you can do is now, whenever you want to add this frame into the tablet, what you can do is you can make a PNG of this. So the way of doing it is Control Shift C. So when you click on Control Shift and C together, as you can see, the frame will be copied as a PNG itself. So when you paste it now, you can see it is a photo. It is not a frame. It is a photo here. As you can see, this image 308. Now you can just simply add the image to the tablet and it is done. See, now it looks and feels like a ready mockup. So I have accessed this resource through this this page, Google Pixel tablet mockups. It has various different tablet mockups, as you can see, various different colors and sizes, whatever you want to choose. So this is how you create the actual mockup. And to create this file, what we'll do is, again, we have the same background color, right? So we go ahead and choose the background color here. Second, let me just keep it here for reference. Nice. And then, okay, I'll choose a rectangle. I'll draw it here. Now, I can align it to the corner and just drag it out. It just snaps into place. So no need to exactly measure it out. Now for that color, what I'll do, again, pick this color here. Okay, so this is the top navigation bar done. Now for our icon, I think I'll be going with the Liquid Galaxy again. I'll just shrink it down a bit. Okay, for shrinking it down, you have another option here known as scale. So when you use scale, the aspect ratio does not change, it just scales it down. For example, when I was doing it earlier using just the normal one, as you can see, the half of the image is gone here, but we don't want that, right? So we can just click on K, or we can scale it down using the options, and now there is no issue there. You can see I've added the liquid galaxy icon there. Okay, now the second thing is adding the title. Again, click on T, go over here, let's say liquid galaxy controller. This is the title. I'll detach this style. Now I'll make it convert it into the button title. As you can see, this is looking good. I have to just align it a bit. Yes. The second thing which we have added below the liquid galaxy controller is the indicator flag of the connection. How we can do that? We can just add another text here, and in the text we can put LG connected. Okay, we'll change its size, keep it regular, change the size back to 15. Okay, now as you might see, there is a circle there, this circle there. How are we going to work with it? So creating a circle, you can create an ellipse over here like this, shrink it down, changing the width and height. See, done. Now as you can see, for example, if I want to move this LG, this buttons and this ellipse here, what I'll do is I'll change it. But now what happens is I will again have to take this and I'll have to align it again. So for this purpose, there is a feature in Figma known as grouping. So you can select all the items which you want to choose by pressing on Shift. So Shift click this, Shift click this. Now both of these are selected. Now basically you can either create a component here, or you can just click on Control G. What Control G does is it creates a group. As you can see here, now this is a group. So whenever I move either one of those, both of them move. Let me just reduce its size a little bit more. Okay. Okay. So this is the group. Here also, I can like change the color. For example, here I will go with green, as it is showing connected. Same green here as well. Okay. So this is complete. Now we also have a drawer there. For the drawer, we can again go to UI icons. We can choose different drawers here. So let me see which one I had selected earlier there. Yes. So let's suppose you want this icon here. Then go over here. You can just paste it there. Make it white. None. Now moving on to the actual body. So we can even round this entire frame as well. Okay, it is rounded now. So it looks more pleasing. Now the second thing what we have to do is we have to add a map here. So for the map, I have like actually collected some resources here earlier. Okay, so I'll just paste the map here. I'll have to scale it down a bit. Okay. Now as I have scaled it down, what I can do is I'll just reduce its size, the size we want. For example, we want it to be covering about 60 to 70% of our screen. We'll do something like this. And that's it. We'll add a same size of rounding word, that is 19 again here. Now, referring to the actual name, you can add the text here. For example, we go with Pune, my hometown Pune. So here, when you select on Pune, you can click on the text style. Actually, wait, I need a little bit. Okay, so now I've selected, I've added the text here as well. Now the next thing we want is a icon here that is showing the location. That also I have ready here. Now again, uh, these two components, I want to keep them together. So what I'll do is, I'll just to align it properly. Okay, so these two components, I want to keep them together. So what I'll do, I'll group them together again using Control G. Okay, so now they are grouped. The next thing I want to do here is, let's say I want to create all those boxes and I want to create a separation line here. For the separation line, what I can do is I can click on a line. Just I'll add a line here. Yes. Move down a bit. Okay. Now I'll make the rectangles. Click on R, go over here. We have made our first rectangle. Similarly, what we can do is we can just replicate this over here. Make two of those. Reduce its size a bit. Too much. I'll make one more here, which will be a bigger size. It will provide the description of the object. Okay, these are done. This is the basic layout for the left hand side. What we'll do here, hmm, hmm. See, it automatically does everything for you. You don't have to work on anything. See, now everything is aligned. The spacing between this, it is centered. Even the spacing between these two are aligned. As you can see, both of them are 30 in length. Now we can just shift click all of those and we can give all those rectangles rounded borders. So we can just click on 20. See, done. Just add a bit more length to these. There's too much of gap there. Okay, so now you can choose some colors, or we can even go ahead and just extend this map a little bit more. And add these two buttons which we had there. Okay, so moving on, the next thing what we have to do is we have to choose the color, right? So let us see which color do we like here. Looks too bright. Looks good enough. Okay, so I'll just add this as a color, or I think, okay, I had already chosen a card color for this. Okay, so no need to choose another color. I've already created a style. So as you can see, this reusability component is very important. I can click on card, everything is of that color itself. Uh, I've also given this one a heading, I believe. I'll do that now. Move them down a bit, add a text here. Please, its length a bit. Okay, yes, this works. Now I've added these buttons as well. I've added the images. Now all that is remaining is I have to add the content here. I believe there's nothing else remaining of sort. Can change this. Okay, but it's looking a bit too similar. Um, go a little bit darker on this one. Okay, so now here again I'll have to give a description. So for example, the first one means we have to give the country name there. So we'll give the title here, increase its length to let's say 24. We'll add another text style here known as information title. Nice. Now it works. It is showing information title there. Please upsize a little. Okay. Now that's fine. Now we place it here in the middle. Similarly, for these ones, we will name them latitude and one more here named longitude. We'll align them both. Done. And the last thing which we'll do is we'll add a description here as well. Okay. So that's now done. Now we just have to add input in some content. Uh, here I'll just add some text like start visualization. I'll keep it centered. This button looks nice. And I'll add another component here, which will be okay. So now you can see one more thing. This text that I have here, when I put it into this rectangle over here, what it does is it goes behind the actual rectangle. So what I can do to combat this is I can right click over here and I'll bring it to front. Okay, so when I bring it to front, now it is back here. Also, one more shortcut for this is using your square brackets on the keyboard. So if you click on the left square bracket, it will go back. If you click on the right one, it will come forward. Okay, so here I'll just go uh, start the orbit, I believe. This one also I'll center. Okay. Now for this, I think I have a different photo as well. Go over here. Again, I'm facing the same issue, that is the photo is going behind the rectangle. So to add it forward, I'll just click on the right hand. Okay, now I believe it is done. Now you can fill this information as you want. So for that, click on T text, type in India, change its color a bit, so I make it a bit different. Suppose I add, let's say, dark green color if it is visible, bluish color. Let's go blue color. Right? Now I'll just keep it size this, centered over here. And similarly, we can add like different. Okay, again, same issue. Can bring it to the front. I don't know the coordinates actually. I'm just putting something random here. Don't like blame me. One more for the longitude. Let's say I don't know. The description. We'll have another text here. We can fill it in later. I think this is complete. Wait a second. This line is not centered. Okay. I do think now this is the complete UI. We can make for the same one. Okay, so this one is complete. Now, I have shown you some mockups for creating the actual application. Now, moving on, I want to showcase how you create the mockups for your Liquid Galaxy rig. So for that purpose, I have different maps here. So for example, these are some visualizations that I have done previously. This is just the normal map, and this is another one of visualizations. So what we'll do is these are some of the resources which are already shared on the Discord server. So do check them out. I'll add them again later. I'll just reshare them currently after this stream, so you can access them easily. So these are required to uh, showcase your LG rig visualization. So you can just copy this component here and paste it onto the blank surface here. So we'll first of all create a frame, big enough frame, I believe. Okay, so we'll create a frame. We'll add this photo to this frame inside. So make sure. So the name of this frame is frame 8. The screen's photo is inside frame 8. Make sure that this is happening. Now go here and like perfectly align it. Okay, perfect. Now this is done. Now as this is done, what you can do is uh, you can go ahead and click on frame 8 again, and in the fill option, just remove the color. So as you remove the color, you will have a basically a transparent looking screen with just the LG screens on it. Now the second thing what we have to do is we have to add a map. So for example, let's say we have to visualize this map here. I'll copy it here. I'll paste it in this frame. Now, as you can see, this has been pasted. Now, to show you the how it will be, like you have to visualize how it will be visualized in the uh, actual LJ rig. What you have to do is you have to click on screen. So see, as I have said earlier, this is the frame 8. The frame 8 has two images. That is, first one is maps, and the second one is the screens, the red ones. You click on screens and you click on this button over here. This button, what is this button? This button is masking button. What it does is it basically creates an outline, or what can I call it, an outline. So what it does is it keeps the screen's images as the outline and superimposes these maps over it. So as you can see, what has happened now is the map has been introduced into the outline of the screens. So this will perfectly like visualize our application. And to add more onto it, as you might have used the Liquid Galaxy, some of the applications of Liquid Galaxy, and you might know some of the rules. Like for example, the logo should be displayed on the left side, or the some of the information or data which you are going to display, like legends, etc. Those are supposed to be on the right hand side. So for that, what you can do is you can like create an rectangle here again. For example, this rectangle I have created here. I don't have any logos with me right now. So what I'll do is, okay, I'll just show you one more thing. If you double click on a rectangle, you'll access its like properties to edit the rectangle itself. So you can see, for example, so now it looks a bit 3D, right? It looks like it's in 3D. You can create this as well. And now inside the logos bundle, you can add whatever logo you have. Currently, I don't have any logo for this application. What I'll do is I'll just simply copy the logo from our Liquid Galaxy portal and just paste it here. Bring it to the front. I don't think I copied the right thing. Okay. Okay, yes, now it's visible. So now again, I'll press on K, I'll scale it up. You can see Liquid Galaxy logo is visible there. You can round their borders a bit, make it look good. You can change its color, change the color of this, make it slightly bit gray. Okay, now it looks good. Now the next thing we can do is we can add some bubbles, or I'll just make another screen. I can show you in this screen as well. I'll take this bubble. So how I've created this bubble is basically, should I show you? I'll just show you instead of using the old one. So you have this normal rectangle here. You can click on it, as I've said earlier. And when you go over here, you can see you can drag a piece down there. See? So now you have created a basic one. If you want like to commit 100% to it, this is the one you can go for. You can like change its size. This is the bubble you can go for. Now the bubble you can like specify whatever content you have there. For example, I've added this to the frame 8. Okay. So now as I've added this, I can like add something over there. Here, it's too big. This text size is okay. Perfect. Nice. So for example, there is something here on this point, on the place marker. Now what you can do is the second thing, you can add opacity to this color. If you add 80%, you can see only 80% of this color is or rectangle is visible, rest 20% is translucent. Now you can add some text to it. Let's suppose what it describes is some tectonic plates. I'll change its size. I think this one requires a bit more. Okay. So tectonic plates, make it bold, make it visible. Now this is the tectonic plate. And we can add some information, like add some information for that purpose there. I'll just give you some information there. So keep this a bit smaller with the semi-bold, adjust the size here. Center it. Oh, this is ready. You can like adjust it as per your requirements, like what size do you prefer. Okay, this is a lot better. So as you can see, I have like created this overall, make it a bit more opaque. So see, this is just a basic overview, like what you can create. There are obviously many much more things you can add there. But this is just the basic things. Now what you can do is we can like select all this, select all those things, and we can create a group. Once you have grouped all those stuff together, now the last thing is the borders. This is also present in the Discord server. You can just paste the border there. Now what you can do is you can align them properly. And wait, done. As you might see, the visualization is complete. I have not added much stuff. I will repeat again that this is just very basic stuff. You have to do whatever you want to visualize there. Here, like I have added some demo data there, but you might have some data that you have to create. There are like KML generators as well online. You can create a map and you can add it here. So this is the map. And now again, if you want to use this in your proposal, you can just go over here, export as whichever format you want to do it. For example, if I choose PNG, I can just click on export frame and the data will be directly downloaded. Yes, it will be downloaded. Or you can click on frame 8, you can click Control Shift C, and whenever you click Control V, it will be a PNG. Yes. Similar can be done for all these different maps here. But I think this much is fine. Now we'll move back to the presentation. Okay, that's it. So just to give you a brief demo, the frames that we have used, the rectangles, the components, masking also we have showcased, grouping I have showcased, textiles which you can create, also color styles. Then there is auto layout. I think I forgot to mention auto layout, but it's just basically just uh, used for aligning things properly, and it is more efficient. Also, stroke and effects. I think I displayed a little bit of effects there when I showed a drop shadow, and also stroke are used for basically like border stuff. So you can add borders, etc. using strokes. So yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Manas, for your presentation. Let's gonna go to the YouTube chat, and we have a few questions in the YouTube. First question is from Pablo Asenjo. Is it possible to create dynamic contents, dynamic components? Are you reading the YouTube, Manas?
No, I don't have it open right now.
Open if you can. You can stop sharing your screen if you want.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I can read it for you. It is possible to create dynamic components. If so, how can you create a dynamic component that automatically resizes to fit different content sizes without the need for manual intervention? Is it clear? Do you know the answer?
Is it dynamic component that automatically resizes to fit different content sizes without the need for manual intervention? Okay, so I think what he means by dynamic content is like sizes of the content, right? So I did not showcase it there, but there is a thing called auto layout in Figma. What it does is it automatically groups together and keeps the, like for example, there is a padding between buttons. All those can be handled in auto layout, and it will be dynamic. So if you change a button, change some size of the button, all the rest sizes will be changed dynamically as well. If that's what you want, Pablo, can you please?
Let's wait for Pablo's answer. So then, I think there was another. I can find it. Sorry, can you repeat the name?
Auto layout.
Auto layout,
yes, for creating flexible and dynamic layouts.
Okay. Okay. So, people from the streaming on the YouTube, any other questions? Okay, thank you, Pablo. Let's wait for a few seconds. In the meantime, thank you, Manas Dalvi, again for the presentation. I have a new question, but I'm gonna ask you just in the meantime. So I think, or I thought that you can export from Figma code, direct code,
Yes, yes, yes.
and you can do that.
Yes, I think the dev mode support has ended currently. We were able to do that for 1 year for free, but now they have like added a premium layer subscription on it.
Okay. So you have to have the premium subscription that you don't have,
Yes,
and but
yes,
any
we
contributor
don't.
that has the premium subscription, they can export the mockups they make as code. Is that right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So I think there are not many questions more. Thank you, Amit, for your words. Hello to the world, Peter, Pablo, Vaikunta, and other people that can see us later. We've been something like 1 hour and 10 minutes on the streaming, so that's enough. Again, thank you, Manas, and see you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.